I hope that scared you. Sorry guys, messed up voice. It's happening. Make it work. Okay, so we're getting into the committee system in Congress. There are a lot of committees in Congress. Remember, I don't know if I ever told you this, but if you ever want to get something done at work or in life, you got to join a committee. There's a committee for everything. Even at Nova, we have committees for everything. We have the Multicultural Day Committee. We have Standards-Based Grading Committee, this committee, that committee, all these committees. If you want to make a difference, you got to be on the committees. Same with Congress. All these people want to be on committees because they want to make a difference. So there's two general types. There's the authorizing committees and the appropriations committees. And the authorizing committees establish government policies. They purpose solutions to public problems such as crime, determine how much funding is needed to put in and how much funding is needed to put them into effect. Now, the actual appropriations, or the funds set aside for specific purposes for these solutions, are made by the appropriations committees. So basically, the appropriations committees are in charge of the money set aside, whereas the authorizing committees are in charge of the solutions to public problems. Okay, so let's get into our specific types of committees. We have 5 specific types of committees. We have standing committees. With the standing committees, the permanent committees in each house of Congress are called standing committees. That means they are there forever. There are currently 16 standing committees in the House of Representatives and 10 in the Senate. Standing committees deal with a very broad area of legislation, such as trade, foreign policy, finance, etc., etc. I'm not going to get into them. Subcommittees are standing committees that are further divided into smaller, more specialized bodies. There are about 215 subcommittees in Congress. Traditionally, the chairs of standing committees were able to dominate the subcommittees by appointing the subcommittee chairs. That changed in 1970. There were tons of reforms done in 1970 that allowed more less experienced members to head said subcommittees. Why is that important? Because this gave these members, the newer members, more power in committees themselves. Okay, moving on to select committees. Select committees are created to deal with special issues not covered by standing committees. Select committees are usually focusing on investigations rather than legislation, and they're usually temporary. Joint committees. Joint committees are committees made up of members from both the House of Representatives and the Senate. These committees deal with matters that are best handled by the two houses working together. Some joint committees, such as the Joint Economic Committee, study and advise Congress in key policy areas. This is most efficient because this is more efficient than having two separate committees. So they just came together and had one committee. And lastly, we have conference committees. In conference committees, members of both houses of Congress, so both the House of Representatives and Senate, also come together to meet. A conference committee is a temporary body appointed to work out a compromise between the House and the Senate versions of a bill passed by both houses. Conference committees, we will go over much more when we get into how a bill becomes a law. How do you even get assigned to one of these committees? How do you become a committee chair? Let's start with that. Because committees and committee chairs hold a great deal of power, they always belong to the majority party, and they're traditionally selected using the seniority system, meaning seniors have the power, just like you would like to think at Nova. So basically, all the committee chairs at this current time are they are Republicans, but they've been in Congress for a very long time. Now, let's say you're not a committee chair, but you want to be on a committee. How do you become part of that committee? The most critical factor in determining committee membership is the member's own wishes. A member is most likely to join a committee on which he or she has asked to serve. Members ask to serve on particular committees for various reasons. Some seek special benefits for their districts or states. Members can accomplish this by influencing policy in areas important to their constituents. Sometimes members seek committee assignments just to influence broad public policy of when it concerns the whole nation. Maybe they're not so concerned with their own constituents per se, but they're more concerned with the whole nation. The more powerful the committees typically receive more applications than there are seats available. As a result, those members often have to run for those, in which case they would have to, have almost a mini campaign in Congress. The bigger committees would be the House Appropriations Committee, the Budget Rules, Senate's Armed Services, Foreign Relations, Finance. Those are big hitters. So those ones always get a lot of members wanting to be in it and not enough seats available for them. And that's pretty much the committee system.
Thinking it's a sign that the freckles in